Hey everybody. Well, last video I told you I was going to try to do some work on the pasture fences, make some changes, and that's what I'm doing. Getting there. Don't know if I'll finish it or not this fall, but we're going to get it started anyway. Now let me explain what I'm doing real quick, and the easiest way it's going to be Google Earth. All right, here's the pastures I have. The two on the left hand side that are not marked, those are used for the rams. I rotate those on the rams. 1 and 2, A and B, those are the 4 pastures I use this year. There's also a pasture unmarked in between the 2 houses. I also use that one. That's one my son-in-law used to use for his rams. Now, to the right side of the picture, you'll see pastures C and D. Those are 2 pastures he used to use for his ewes when he had them. C was used for a horse this year. D never got used at all. Now, my daughter and I discussed what we were going to do. Maybe I'd take one, she'd take one, like C and D, but she's got her goats, and I said, you know what would be better off if she took the pasture between the houses for her goats, because she's got the smaller Nigerians. She'd be able to see them, and she's even thinking maybe of using that pasture for her bucks to keep them a long way away from her does. The only thing about goats compared to sheep, put them bucks next to those does, and they start stinking really bad. Don't have that much problem with sheep that way. But anyway, so that was the idea. She'll take and she can use that one, and I would use both pastures C and D. But they don't really line up to go to my house because they used to go to their place. So the key is we're going to change the fencing around. And here's the way I'm going to change it. I'm splitting C in half, and half of C goes into A, the other half is going to go into B, and D is also going to be gone, moving into B. So I'm going to have 2 pastures instead of 4. Instead of A, B, C, D, now we're just going to have A and B. And when I'm done, each of those pastures, A and B, will now be a little over an acre each. Each one's just a little over an acre. So I'll have my 2 close pastures, 1 and 2, of A and B. Now I am taking on B, and I'm splitting it off a little. This right here was the old B. Right in front of me it kind of ends. This is what I use this year. It's a small pasture. I kind of want to lave that. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to put a little short piece of fence and a gate in here. So early in the spring when the lambs are little, and I don't want them way out there, they can be in pastures 1 or 2 or the front part of B. But I'll have a fence and a gate that doesn't allow them to go all the way back. So I'll have 3 pastures to rotate my ewes with the little lambs, like in April and May. And by the time those lambs are getting a little bigger, now they can open the gate and they can move out to the bigger pastures. That's the game plan. Now, what I wanted to do to show you today, if you have to put up, oops, sorry about that. If you have to put up any amount of woven wire fence, this is the fence stretcher you want. This is what you want for fence stretching. Nice part is my daughter had goats long before I had sheep, so she bought all the fencing equipment, and then I just borrow it from her. So I got a real short section of fence I need to put in here, about 40 feet, that I need to put up. I got the wire there, I'm ready to go. I thought this would be a time, let me get everything moved over, and let me show you how this fence stretcher works. All right, so this is what we got. Now, pop that. This will be your main stretcher. I'm just going to lay that over here for a minute. I have a rod, and I have these 2 clips that go top and bottom with eye bolts in to help hold them in place. Pop them off. And what we're going to do is just weave this down through the woven wire. And I'll tell you, it'll work on about anything. It'll even work on the smaller 2x4 mesh. This is the big 4x4 goat and sheep. Works fine here, works fine with regular woven wire, and it will work with the 2x4. A little bit tougher with the 2x4, but it does work. Now the idea is the rod has got a groove cut in it. The groove will fit in here, and we'll basically put the bottom cap over it, and the groove will hold it in the wire. Tighten that up. Oh, the old back's hurting today. And it's a little bit tough sometimes. This red brand wire is pretty stiff stuff. There we go. And I want the groove in here. Tell you what, take 2 seconds. I'm going to take a picture of this. I'll put that up above. Hang on. Isn't it amazing what we can do nowadays we didn't do? All right. There's a picture of what the groove looks like. It's the same top and bottom. And the cap will just hold the whole thing into place. And from here, hang on. It's got the 4 hooks, and we're just going to take the 4 hooks and hook them all on the rod. Now, let me get my come along, we'll hook it up. Now, if you're tightening a longer stretch of fence, you might want a ratchet style to tighten it up. I got an old rope come along that, you know what, this thing might be older than me, and that means it's old. But, get this unhooked here. For a short stretch of fence like this, don't think we'll have any problem with it. Think I can get one more out of that? Oh yeah, there we go. That'll hold. One more. Hang on. Try to get that going out of it. That's got it. That has to be the quickest, easiest fence stretcher I've ever used. I had the kind with the 2x4 and a metal strap, and you got to put the bolts, and you got to tighten them up, and you got to have your wrenches and all that stuff. That is the slickest fence stretcher you're gonna find. So, all right, full transparency. After I got that fence up, I went in the house, took a break, and ate lunch. But let's take the cart down here. I'm gonna show you the next step I had to do, or what I did after lunch. And I didn't bother to tape all of that, put a video for that. So, a little bouncy out here, but the old golf cart does work. All right, here was a fence line that originally separated pastures C and D. So half of that fence is now gone. I could take half of it out. Let me get you turned around. There's where I put in my cross fence. That's why pasture C is split in half. Half of it goes over there. Half of it now is with this. What I did here a little bit ago, right after lunch, is I had the wire up and I had it attached maybe 3 posts along the way, and that was it at a top clip. I unhooked the first clip and I drug a little wire, and I need the fence to go all the way down here. Now I need it to go all the way across back over there. It's about 100 and, what did I figure? About 150 feet of fence, and I need to pivot it 90 degrees. So once I got it started with the first clip on, I just hooked onto it in my golf cart. I took the metal rod that you use in the fence stretcher, I wove it back through the woven wire, put a chain on it, hooked it to the golf cart, and I took off. And then when I get to the next clip, I'd unhook it, I'd pull more and get the clip and unhook it. Now I have the whole 150 plus feet of wire is now stretched all the way across to where it's going to end up. So now all I got to do, get the fence stretcher back out, stretch it up to one post, then the other post, put the steel posts in. But that means I also got to pull all of these. And hang on, I got a steel post puller. Let me show you that. All right, here's another deal my daughter acquired. Steel post puller. It's got this. We looked, I asked her, she couldn't remember where, but you know what? I looked on Amazon and I found, it might not have been this color, but I basically found the same puller on Amazon, quite a few places. It could be anywhere from 50 to 100. But basically it was just set it in, hook it up, and it just pulls them out of the ground. Where's this been all my life? Why did I spend most of my life doing it the hard way when all this stuff existed? I don't know. But if you need a fence puller, steel post, that's it. You'll find them at Amazon. All right, guys. Hey, it's been a couple days, but I wanted to come back and show you. I did finish, watch the sun, did finish the rest of the line here. Did get it put up. Now I've only put one post in the middle for now because I had to hand pound them. My son-in-law's gone on a hunting trip. He gets back in a few days. I got the rest of the post pulled. What we'll do is when he comes back, it's a whole lot easier if I just hold on to the post and he pushes it in with the bucket of the Bobcat. So we'll finish it then, but I did want to let you know I got all the wire up. The pasture's closed in. I feel pretty good, got a lot done. The old man can still get a few jobs done. Hey, that's all I got. We're going to take breeding season about a month away, just a little over that. So probably the next time around, we might start discussing rams and ewes, why I'm doing what I'm doing as far as dividing them up. So we'll see you in a week or so.